Hello and welcome to this edition of Behind the Story with Business Today. Today we'll talk about a very interesting subject, which is wind energy. You must have read in the papers and other places that the government is giving a big push on renewable energy to meet our energy needs, electricity needs. And there is a lot of talk about solar energy and 100 gigawatts that the government is planning in a few years. But you'll be surprised to know that out of the 35.8 gigawatts of installed renewable energy capacity that we have in India, more than 23 gigawatts is wind energy. So actually wind energy was given a bit of incentive a few years ago, which is why there is much more capacity in wind than in solar and other renewable sources. But in the middle, a couple of years ago, because of certain circumstances, the wind energy the addition to the installed capacity started to fall. Investments also obviously fell, because of which capacity fell. So investments fell from some 19,000 crore in 2010-11 to around 9,000 crore in 13-14. But wind energy is now making a comeback. There are some positive signs, positive developments. So, and my colleague, Assistant Editor Anilesh Mahajan, has done a story on this in the latest issue of Business Today. So we'll just have a chat with Anilesh and try and find out why he is so bullish on wind energy and why has he done this story and what really the story is all about. So Anilesh, maybe you could just start off by telling us, what the story is and why did you pick on wind energy to do this story?
The story's focus is that in last 1 year, the capacity addition into wind energy has increased. And secondly, we are also seeing, deals which are happening in the wind energy space. In last fiscal, we have seen 6 big deals happening in the wind energy segment, and that's largely because government's focus is now back on wind. So now they want 60 gigawatts of capacity in wind energy by 2022. In his first budget, Arun Jaitley, who is our country's finance minister, brought back generation-based incentives and accelerated depreciation, which the earlier finance minister withdrew in 2 years back. After withdrawal of these incentives, we have seen the dip. So from 3.2 gigawatts roughly 2 years back, it slipped to roughly 2 gigawatts annual addition. So that also reflected in the investment numbers. So when this new NDA government came in, so they brought in these incentives, plus they increased the cake size to 60 gigawatts. And now we are into a new financial year, and most of the investors whom we spoke to, like Gamesha's Kamal, he was very bullish about Indian market. He was saying that his order books are they are filled up till September. So next year they are expecting this addition to go up to 6 gigawatts. So we are seeing the action happening in wind energy segment. So that's why we brought in this story. See, the biggest player is Suzlon Energy. Tulsi Tanti is very bullish. He is now bringing in a new tower, which would be of roughly 120 meters. So right now the tower size is roughly 80 meters. So he is increasing the tower size. So that means that the height of the tower. So that means that in areas where wind potential is lesser, so you can actually install those machines there as well. So that will increase country's wind potential. So he is very bullish. He is coming up with S111 tower. GE also have a similar product. So they all are eyeing that that investors would be bullish to get into wind and get into states beyond where the current wind potential is. We roughly have 7 states where 7 to 8 states where wind potential is there. So we are expecting states like Punjab, then UP. They also come up with wind potential.
And what about RE Power? Does he have any plans?
So Mansina's company has plans, but their focus is now shifting towards solar as well. So they are dividing their thought process between wind and solar. So they have got fresh influx from Goldman Sachs last year. So they are investing into installing new wind generation units.
Where we've got to right now is that we have about 500 megawatts of installed capacity today, We have another 700 megawatts in construction, which should be ready in the next 6 to 9 months. And so we hope to cross 1,000 megawatts of installed capacity and hopefully be the first company in India that crosses that barrier in clean energy in the next few months' time.
And so, Anilesh, what about prices? Is it going to be affordable? What are the prices looking like? How would you compare them?
See, wind energy is following a very interesting business model. It has a feed-in tariff. So that means that government comes up with a plan that X amount would be charged, which has already attained a grid parity. So you can directly feed in the energy produced from those units to the grid. So that way it is very sustainable model. But the only hindrance was those tax benefits, which are now back. So that's why we are seeing the spur.
And so, what are the major challenges that wind energy faces at this point?
See, right now the biggest challenge is land, because wind is very critical to set up those towers at particular location, and to get land there is a problem. In all the 8 states, this is a common problem. There could be issues like evacuation in certain states. There could be issues like transmission facility infrastructure is not there. Like in Tamil Nadu, it's a huge issue. But land is a common issue in all the states, because you require a particular land at a particular point to maximize your efficiency levels. So this is the biggest challenge right now.
What about pricing in terms of wind versus solar? Is wind more?
Right now, solar is priced around 6 rupees to 7 rupees a unit, and wind is priced roughly in sub 5 rupees zone, depending upon state to state. So right now, wind is at advantage, but in 2017 we are expecting that the grid parity would be achieved in solar. So it would come at price roughly around 5 to 6 rupees. Plus government is also trying to reduce the tariff, maybe artificially through interventions like bringing in financial institutions to reduce the interest rates and all. So which was explained in the cover story of our previous issue.
It's a very, very interesting scenario. We will all hope that renewable energy finds a very sizable presence in our country, because that's good for us, good for the environment, good for the country, and good for the world. And like Anilesh says, there are a lot of moves that are underfoot, and hopefully they will play true. And let's see in a few years from now, in 3-4 years, how things turn out. But meanwhile, you should really pick up this issue of Business Today and read Anilesh Mahajan's story on wind energy. Thank you very much.